What's going on, guys? It's your boy Keystar, back at it again with another action figure unboxing, review, showcase, yada yada. Hope you're all doing well. Today we've got the Figma Gilgamesh 468 from Fate Grand Order in his summoner or caster variant when he's the king of Uruk. Absolutely awesome. So basically I've recently got into Fate courtesy of Kingu, and I watched it backwards. And I started with Grand Order because it looked pretty awesome. Some people don't like it, but I actually really do. I thought it was pretty dope. So I picked up this figure. It was an impulse buy. I shouldn't have grabbed it, but I grabbed it anyway. It was really expensive, but I really wanted it because I like the character and I love the show. It's absolutely awesome. Fate is basically an anime about heroic spirits, such as like Hercules, Gilgamesh, King Arthur, Merlin, yada yada. And when they die, they turn into heroic spirits, and then mages summon them back to fight a holy grail war. It's really interesting, and you should definitely look into it. So this is what we got here today, and we won't babble on anymore. So before we start, we've got our random item of the day, which is D's nuts. So there you go. If you like honey roasted D's nuts, that's what these are right here. So yep, and we'll get straight into it. So can you smash that like button, notifications bell, all that boring stuff that you do not want to hear from every tuber, and we'll have a look at the box. So I've already got him out. I was having a little look earlier to see what we were dealing with. So he would be here in the window display. So that's the front of the box right there, guys. So you'd have the figure there, the accessories, faces, yada yada, Figma 468, Fate Grand Order, the logo right there. Some MaxFactory, Gilgamesh, yada yada. We have the top of the box there with him looking absolutely awesome with his Book of Thoth and Fate Grand Order there. We have the side of the box, him doing a proud, really proud king pose. Absolutely awesome, Gilgamesh, the logo, as you can see there. We have the bottom of the box, a similar pose to the other one. Absolutely awesome. Sorry, the Figma seal of approval right there. Other side, bottom. Other side looking awesome with his abs there. Ladies, don't get excited, but there you go. The definition on this one is pretty cool. And some on the back of the box, sorry, we've got some poses of him looking absolutely awesome. Figma Gilgamesh, terms and conditions, age restrictions, yada yada yada. So with that, guys, we will get this out and have a look at him in the tray in the top cam in 3, 2, 1. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to take it to the top cam with Figma because there's a lot to cover. I like to do accessories quickly at the start. So as you can see, Gilgamesh looking absolutely awesome. Very, very, very nice indeed. He comes with a stoic face, looking dope there, smiling. He comes with an angry, looking down on you peasants face. He comes with an angry, shouting face. He comes with his Book of Thoth. I'm guessing the Egyptian god of writing and knowledge. That's the book he holds, I assume. And he comes with his enchanted axe, somewhere from history. I'm not sure whose axe that is, but I'm guessing it's a warrior of some sort because Gilgamesh is the king of all men and the king of earth, and he owns every treasure, and that's one of his abilities. It also comes with some various hands, a display stand, and an instruction manual, and the Figma baggie. So, unfortunately, he doesn't come with that much, which... The figure looks beautiful, but in my opinion, the accessories were a bit underwhelming. They could have added a bit more, especially with the type of character this guy is. Even if they just added a holy grail or something. So, not too amazing to start with in terms of accessories, but we'll get into some paint and detail and see what your boy looks like. So I'll be back with you again in a minute. So my apologies, guys. This guy came with a hell of a lot of plastic. All this plastic here, more than a buzz mod. So I had to carefully, individually take each bit out, which was an absolute pain. But regardless, he looks very, very lovely. Again, I apologise for the lighting, dudes, but we'll start from the top. He's painted really well, to be honest. I can't lie. So, you've got his kind of Arabian headpiece here with the blues and the whites, looking really awesome. Very nice indeed. You've got his pretty boy blonde hair, very cool. His gem, I'd say this probably is the most underwhelming part. That gem on his head, they could have painted that more than just a solid blue. They could have given us a purple sheen, but still looks nice. His skin tone, very good. just like it is in the show. His eyes, again, painted the nice red, piercing red. Very awesome. His earrings, the golds, the blues, all throughout. His flower mural tattoos, looking really cool. More blues on the back, contrasted with golds. Very nice. Not a little bit of bleed at all. Sorry, I didn't mention his golden necklace. Very, very cool indeed. And even the collar pieces, you can see golds there. And it's not a cheap, unshiny gold. It's really nice. You've got blues and golds on his gauntlet with blacks. Very, very awesome. They've done really well with that. Then you go down to his abs. Look at those abs. We all wish we could have abs like that. But very cool. Shading so you can see the definition. And I have to say, this guy looks better in hand than he did on the promo images. The blacks there at his waist part, which is very cool. I very much like this. And then again, more blues and reds. It's like a really, really crazy colour scheme. I've never seen anything like it. This part is painted lovely, but it's a bit annoying. Like, it's supposed to articulate, but it's very tight. And when I got it out the box, this popped out and dropped on the floor. So that was an instant depression moment for me. And this part's not really on a ball peg. It's like sideways. So that can snap off if you're not careful. I'm not really a fan of that, but I think that's like, see, look, popped off. That's really annoying. But yes, certain things, certain engineering choices are really bad. I don't understand why they do it sometimes. Sometimes it's just bad decisions. But nonetheless, we still go. Very nicely painted trouser area. Open, so you can still see the skin. But you can also still see under to the ball pegs. Very good. They've done it in pieces so you can get accuracy. It's a shame these parts aren't bendy. They're solid plastic, so if you do, they could have made that like a silicone. So if we do bend that too much, they will break off. And we're going to be crying because these things are like 90 bucks. So that's a bit rough. Yeah, and just blues, purples, and the shoes painted really nicely. And just general crazy, what's the word? Very, very, very crazy, outlandish, flamboyant design for a character. But if you just have a look at him, he looks very dope. And he looks just like he does in the show. He's a king. He's the king of all treasure. So he's going to be extravagant and flamboyant. So very nice. Very, very nice. Despite the few design flaws, it is a very nice piece. So what I'm going to do now quickly is do some brief articulation. He's brand new, you know me on the channel. I'm not going to go crazy because I don't want to break this, even though I love breaking my stuff by accident. So we're going to go straight in. At the head, you actually get a swivel, up, down, left and right, slight side to side pivot, but not much. It's a shame we can't take this piece off and just have him normally without the headrest, but I see why they've done it for the design choice. But this is also articulated, so you get two ball joints on here, so you can have his headrest flying in the wind, and you get this little piece here that you can knock up and down if that's your cup of tea, so that's not too bad. You also get a ball joint at the neck and here, so you can also swivel that backwards and forwards. The arms are really good. You can go beyond 90 and further if you want to on a single peg, and you can swivel it all the way around. I'm not going to because I don't want to break it. And then you get really good double jointed elbow, very nice. And you get the Figma wrist peg that can rotate and pivot. So very nice at the arms. The abdomen, very good also. At his abs, girls, don't get excited. You can twist that there and feel his abs if you really want it. So very good there. You also get a waist rotation all the way around if you really want to, but don't scratch that really awesome paint. Very, very good, to be honest. And the same with this arm. Very, very awesome. The legs, this is where it gets a bit limited because of this Zeus eagle piece. Sorry if it's a spoiler, but I think Gilgamesh is one of the sons of Zeus, because Zeus likes to get lots of kids for whatever reason in mythology. So Gilgamesh was one of his sons. So I'm guessing that's why he wears this Egyptian Zeus looking eagle on the back. I might be wrong, but you know. So this should be articulated better, but it's not. This part is really annoying. So it swivels left and right, but it doesn't go up and down. So the trouble is with this, you can break it really easily, to be honest. So that is a big shame. Very big shame. They're supposed to articulate, but instead they just pop out. It can be really annoying. I might have to get some hot water on that to see if I can fix that. It's a bit crazy, to be honest, but nonetheless, this one's a bit tighter, but they do swivel and pivot, but still quite difficult anyway. Not the best design choice. Leg articulation, you get backwards and forwards slightly. It's not amazing. It's a single ball peg, and it is a very narrow one, to be honest. Gilgamesh he's quite a proud character, so he's always standing still. I wouldn't advise doing too much because his legs are loose, but they do also feel like they're gonna stretch. And when you kick out, you can see there that the paint is also gonna rub, which can be a bit rough. So just be careful when doing things. You get about just under 45 and not very far forward because of these pieces. You don't want to break anything. Gilgamesh stands proud, he stands still. He doesn't do any kicks really. That being said, you do get a little bit of a double jointed knee. Sorry, it might be a single jointed knee actually, my bad. If you do want to get him in a more dynamic stepping pose, you can do so, but not amazing at the legs, so that is a downside. If you do like articulation, this one won't be for you because you don't get much. He's more of an action statue, as we like to say, so don't do anything crazy with him because you will break him and you will be crying. And finally, at the ankle, you do get an ankle swivel, sorry, a thigh swivel here. It's more of a thigh knee swivel, so you do get that, but you don't get an ankle swivel. You get up, down, all the way around at the actual foot, and then a toe hinge as well, if that floats your boat. So still quite good, but quite limited at the legs, but that's just the design he is. And he does stand up nicely, so I wouldn't worry about that. But all in all, I think it's quite nice for how they've done it. Very, very nice. So yeah, that's articulation done, guys, and we're going to try and wrap up quite quickly. So we'll have a closer look at the accessories. So to start with, let's see if we can do the faces. So as you can see, you get his normal, proud, smiling king face. Absolutely awesome. And I've just realised, guys, you can take the headdress off, but it still looks weird because he has these tassel things still attached. So to remove the faces, you have to take this headrest off. So you can still have that if you want it, but it does look a bit strange. It's a shame they didn't include a way to having a separate head sculpt to like have without this helmet. They could have done that if they really wanted to. So as with all Figma, you just carefully pop off the hair and you carefully pop off the head. You reverse, so you have his shouting face. And all of these faces look very cool, so I do very much like these faces. Very awesome. But we just be careful when equipping and de-equipping these things, because you don't want to break anything. And guys, you are going to want to be careful changing these faces out because the headdress will scratch the thing eventually, the hair, so you don't want to ruin your paint. So I'd only do this every so often. Don't change them too much because that won't be good. Secondly, we have this really awesome axe. It's painted absolutely beautifully in every way. It's painted a nice gold ornamental. I really love that. Very awesome. With a blue contrast. Very Egyptian. Very cool. So obviously you can swap out the hands and have this in his hand as one of his major weapons. Very awesome. Very, very nice. I love that pattern. They're very good. They've put more effort in this than they have with the book. And then you have this. This is what would have been my favorite accessory, but they went lazy on it. So it's a book that he uses to summon all his spells. His noble phantasm, his ability is he can summon unlimited blades and treasures to attack his enemies. So it's a bit like Noctis, Power of Kings. Maybe they got inspiration from that, or the other way around. But I assume this is the Book of Thoth, the Egyptian god of writing and knowledge. And he holds this and he can use his ability and different spells, every magic he wants to use. But it looks beautiful from the back. Looks like a stone tablet. Very nice. But then you turn it around and it's just plain. They would have been better off doing like the DX and Android, where they engraved the back exactly the same, but they just engraved it on this side instead of being lazy, because that just looks poor. So very disappointed in that, even though it's my favourite accessory. And I reckon they could have painted this a nice gold to match this, but I'm not a Figma design man, so that is a big shame. They could have done way better on that. And that's it really, guys. So he does look amazing, paint and detail wise, very extravagant, very awesome, but just a bit lazy on the accessories. Even if they added an energy effect of his golden portals opening, or a few treasures like golden swords, axes, whatever you want, like cheap plastic, all they had to do was just include it. That would have been nice. Could put them in his hands, use them as weapons, or a chalice. He holds the Holy Grail in his hand because it's Gilgamesh, the king of all. He has it in his collection. So why can't you just include it? Just something a bit extra. But it does still look nice. We get two things, two treasures, but they could have done a lot better for the price point. I mean, retail, 60 bucks. Aftermarket, 80 to 90. They really could have done a lot better, but I'd say paint and detail, definitely a 9 to 9.5. Accessories, I'd say a 6. And I'd say articulation, also a 6. So overall, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, I think. And that's me being nice because I love the character. Could have got a 7, to be honest, for the poor accessories, but just because he looks so good and I really wanted a Gilgamesh for my collection, he's going to get an 8. And even though this one looks amazing and awesome in my opinion, for like 20 more bucks I could have got the Archer one. Would have took a bit longer to arrive, but that comes with way more stuff and another torso. So you also get a separate torso, separate heads, as well as more weapons. So I don't know, guys. If you like Fate Grand Order like me, pick up this one. But if not, you can get the Archer one for better value. But that's like, depends where you look. But it's going for like 150 at the moment. So just personal preference, really. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get him to a final pose for you guys and then wrap up. So I'll be back in 1 second. So there you are, guys. In the show, you will see Gilgamesh posed like this the majority of the time as King Gilgamesh, not Archer Gilgamesh. So the mage version that we have here, he doesn't attack. He's a very proud guy. He doesn't need to whip out a sword to attack his opponents. Most of the time you'll just see him standing here with this book, the Book of Knowledge, and he will just laugh, and then energy will appear and he'll blast his opponents with unlimited knives. So unlimited axes and blades will fly out of the ethereal wall behind him, and that'll do his work for him. If that's not enough, he will blast all sorts of magic spells because he's the king of all, and he's got every treasure in his arsenal as his ability, which is quite broken. So yeah, very cool. I must admit, once you put him in a pose, he does look awesome, but a bit underwhelming for the accessories. They could have done a lot better. Energy effect, portals, extra knives, but we do get at least a couple of things. And also, that really disappointed me, the fact that they just didn't engrave the other side. That's lazy work. Very lazy work. They could have engraved that side just to make it look better. So when you look, obviously that just looks poor. It doesn't look magical. It doesn't look powerful. It just looks plain from that side. But obviously from the front angle, it looks absolutely fine. So yeah, I think that's it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, Please like, subscribe, all that boring stuff that you do not want to hear. This one was very rough because I didn't have my correct setup, and it was just a quick one that I wanted to get out of the way because of my hype for Fate at the minute. Still a nice figure, 7 to 8 out of 10, definitely. 9 out of 10 in terms of looks, but the accessories let it down a lot because the king is worthy of a lot of treasures and you get basically nothing with this guy. But overall look is very, very amazing, and I do love it, and it will be nice with some of the other Fate stuff that I'm going to be getting recently. So yeah, be sure to eat all your snacks, collect cool things, all that yada. Be good people, drink all your water. And as always, Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk and the king of all treasure, says stay safe and keep collecting.